We are always talking about alignment before action, and we're always talking about rewriting our thoughts and rewiring our neural pathways and future casting and having our vision and getting into the energy of that vision. And we talk about these things so much because they are our biggest levers to really move our energy in big ways. But let's also remember that kind of third category of work, which is the category of the receiving mode and the category of the allowing mode. And what this translates into in everyday language for people like us is learning how to actually relax. Out of everything, that would be my weakest, my weakest area. Although I'm getting better and better, and there's some real validity to reminding ourselves that finding the energy of the receiving mode is just as powerful, is just as powerful. And that a really well-rounded practice is also being aware of our breath and being aware of how fast our cells are vibrating on the inside. And whether we are in the energy of like trying to make something happen versus slowing down and allowing there to be room for the universe to surprise us and creating space, slowing down so there's space to receive good ideas. And so we can really fold this in. We can really allow ourselves time to incorporate some of these practices. Take that deep breath. Can you feel that simmering? Take another deep breath. Notice how that one feels a little bit different. Close your eyes and let's count to 10 as slowly as we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake out the shoulders a little. 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't open your eyes. 10. As you're breathing, try to look at your body. Try to look into your body, into your cells. Don't try to change anything. Just notice how you are. Accept how you are. Give yourself a little grace. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to picture source energy looking at you. But first, you need to be reminded that source energy is always looking at us with a smile. The universe is always positively, expectantly looking at us, knowing we're right on track. Everything is unfolding perfectly. And your mind, with your eyes closed, sense that source energy and sense that smile. And sense the essence of you're right on track. And try to feel it deeply. You're right on track. This is source talking to us. This source will always speak to us this way. You're right on track. And can you sense source energy having this sneaky little smile? Because it's okay with you not knowing. You don't, source thinks it's really cute that we're bothered by not knowing how or the timeline. Because source energy, universe energy, God energy, whatever you want to call it, knows that you've never been more on track than right now. And it's absolutely lined up and it's absolutely coming. So you can open your eyes and do a little stretch. Ah, ah, ah. And feel that extra little bit of calm in your heart. Even if it's not, even if you feel like it didn't work, or even if it feels just a tiny bit, that's okay. You'll get better. In this space, it's easier to be curious. It's easier to be curious. You know, smoking weed never did anything for me. It just made me always fall asleep. So I don't really know what that's like, but I imagine that after you like take something like that, you're kind of in this like daze, this kind of like happy daze is what I imagine it to be for people. I don't know if that is right or not. But like imagine that after you kind of do this like slowing down, you can kind of lean into this like foggy little gaze of relaxation where you can now be like, well, I am pretty curious. God, there's so many things I'm curious about. I could write down this long list of things I'm curious about. I'm curious. I'm curious what I could say no to. I'm curious what I could say yes to. I'm curious what a good next step would be. I'm curious what my body would like for me today. I'm curious how to chill more. I'm curious how to love more. I'm curious what I really want. I'm curious if this to-do list even has anything to do with my manifestation. I'm curious what would happen if I just scheduled 30 minutes to sit there and do nothing. I tried to do that this morning. It didn't go well. I had like 25 minutes to a phone call and I said, I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to sit. But then I was looking at my counter and I was thinking how that tray should really be in the drawer. So it didn't go well. Within about 45 seconds, I was organizing a drawer. But guess what? Sitting down and having the attempt, right? Even just those little bits, it just being on your mind. Let me simmer down. Let me simmer down. Let me simmer down. So I want you to go easy on yourself, and I want you to remember that the receiving mode is a really nice layer of this work. It's a really good treat to this work. It's like going to the sauna or getting a massage. That if you just didn't have it in you to do a morning routine, and if you just didn't have it in you to rewrite something, and if you just didn't have it in you to future cast, you could totally get full credit for saying, well, fine, for 20 minutes, I'm going to be in the receiving mode. Or at least for 20 minutes, I'm going to attempt to be in the receiving mode. And you would get full points for that.